We are now going to ask to come to the stage this phenomenal young duo or younger duo of sisters. They go by the name Black Orphan. And Charles, what's that thing? What's that word you say when you want people to be quiet? I
go. Excuse me. You want me to get European on you? Excuse me. We're requesting you be quiet at this time. Thank you. Next time, I'm gonna bring my war axe for y'all.
We did, for folks who know, we did the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee, we did a CD compilation, a tribute to the Black freedom struggle and our Black and New African freedom fighters, and it's called Freedom Ain't Free. Because one of our brothers, Abdul Majid, is always reminding us that freedom ain't free and it don't come cheap. So we decided that it was time to put some poetry, music, song, jazz together on a CD. And with the help of the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee and Brother Mogadishu's sons, Goldberg Studios, we were able to make this incredible CD. That's right, that's right. That's right. That's right. And so I encourage you, if you haven't gotten it, we have it over there on the table over there for a donation of $10. We have several of the artists who are on it. Brother Maroon, Shaka with Maroon Society. We have Brother Georgette with Tate on it. We have Sister Amina Baraka. It's just an incredible CD. And so two of the artists that are on the CD are called Black Orphan. Oh, and we also have Sister DK Dyson on, who is going to bless you as well. But right now I want to call up Sisters Black Orphan to pay tribute to our community of love and resistance. So without further ado, I bring you Black Orphan.
Check. Peace everyone. Check. We just want to thank Dequi for just involving us in such a worthy cause. We are so happy to be here. And we'll just get started. We'll get started, yes. DJ, whenever you're ready. We hope y'all like hip hop.
Watch me now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. We are so honored to be here and to be able to perform for such a worthy cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you and have a good night.
Good night.
Beautiful. Y'all give him a strong black hand. Black Orphan in the house. Get that CD, Freedom Ain't Free. It's hot. You old heads, you want to figure out something how to get it. Some young heads, we get that. Get that weapon. They're creating weapons for us. Somebody that made a mess on the floor. It wasn't me. Now I'm looking for Dequi because she's not. Who are we gonna do next? Is Sister DK in the house? Sister DK, is she in the house? Where is she?
Okay, so.
Let her just come forward.
Thank you so so much, Black Orphan, Brandi, and Io, for being fierce cultural warriors, willing to stand up and be counted and do the work that we do. Everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something. So we're very appreciative of that. So as we begin this part of the tribute for our Baba Herman Ferguson and our Mama Iyaluua Ferguson, for people who know, there is, and I'm not saying that this is what he's going to do, but I just want you to know, and some of you already know, that this is another example of revolutionary love, Black love, revolutionary Black nationalism, culture as a weapon. From one couple, Herman and Iyaluua Ferguson, to this other couple, George Edward Tate and Akosawa Tate. We could not do a tribute to Herman and Iyaluua and not have these two warriors as a part of it. Now again, I don't know what they're going to gift them with, but I just know that both of them, Iyaluua loves when Akosawa does Round Midnight, and Herman loves when George Edward Tate does the Black Brigade. So I'm not giving any hints. I'm just saying. So without any further ado, let's give it up for another revolutionary couple, an example of Black love.
Thank you so much, DeQuee. So I wasn't going to sing Round Midnight, but, but Mama Ferguson is going like this. So if I may have permission, Mama and Baba, I will sing Round Midnight. It begins to tell round midnight, round midnight, I do very well till after sunsets, supper time, I'm feeling bad, but it really gets sad around midnight. Memories often come around midnight. Round midnight, I haven't got the heart to face those memories when my heart is still with you. When, oh, midnight, you know it too. When some quarrel we had needs mending, does it mean that this truth has got to be ending, no cause, darling, I need you. And lately I'm beginning to find that you are out of my arms, and I'm out of my mind. Let our love take wing around the midnight hour. Let the angels sing of your returning, and you let your love be safe and sound. Boom, 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 boom. When that naughty old midnight boom, that naughty old midnight boom, that naughty old midnight, he keeps creeping and he keeps crawling around at midnight.
First of all, free the land. Black power. Hotep, Farigani, Bohotasen, Lafia. Y'all getting weaker and weaker. And before I do the poem that Barbara Ferguson requests, I want to mention just a couple of very brief things. One is that Barbara Ferguson has a lot to do with my development. I mean, this is his tribute, so I'm making a public statement. During the period that I was making a metamorphosis from being a Negro to a nationalist, there were certain people who were instrumental, and I've talked about some of these people, like Carlos Cooks, like Nombe Brath, of course, Malcolm X, etc. That was the beginning of the 60s to the mid 60s. I mean, it's packed with these individuals. But the end of the towards the end of the 60s, I saw this young man. I mean, I was younger. I was like very young. But Barbara Herman Ferguson speaking at IS 201, and his level of clarity and the fire of his commitment and his brilliance. I mean, I was just captivated. And sometimes people would ask me, why do I not turn around or do something else or whatever? But it's because I've been groomed and cultivated by so many great people, and Barbara Ferguson is among those people. And I thank you. I thank you so much. I really thank you. Asante Sana. Madasi. So, as you know, he has a book out that you should have read, And I was trying to find words to really deal with the importance of that book, that is a revolutionary effort and love effort of both Baba and Mama Ferguson. And it's about the journey of Baba Ferguson, the political and militant journey of Baba Ferguson. And I was never satisfied in terms of trying to capture what the book represents and what his life represents before as well as now, because he still inspires me. So this was a response to the book that I'll share with you. Herman Ferguson's memoir is a masterpiece of mindfulness and a minefield of militancy. Co-written with his wife, Mama Iyaluua Ferguson, the book is a workshop of wisdom and wit. Each page is a print fest of passion. Each paragraph holds a patent on purpose. Baba Ferguson's life and labor are liberation landmarks of commitment and consistency, integrity and intensity, dignity and daring. Baba Ferguson walks the way of the warrior with the width of the world, with the weight of the word. His book is a blueprint of blackness and a bulletin board of battle. It is as insightful as it is inspirational and as informative as it is instructive. The work is as historic as the writer is heroic. Baba Herman Ferguson's book, An Unlikely Warrior Evolution of a Black Revolutionary, is ultimately a breakthrough biography that simultaneously succeeds in being a handbook of detail and a heartbeat of discipline. Baba Herman Ferguson's book blesses us with and bestows upon us a nomenclature of nationalism within a lexicon of longevity. Without further ado, the Black Brigade. I would say next year the Black Brigade will be 40 years old. They sat in semi-darkness, their shadows stretching long. A brotherhood of blackness 27 strong. They had made a resolution to the sound of sacred rains. By the blood of all their ancestors, they would break the black man's chains. They had studied hard their history. They had watched with wistful eyes. They had weighed the force of black man's truth in the course of white man's lies. They had focused on the problem and forged a sound solution. They would form a fearless Black Brigade and begin a revolution. They knew that killing cops would be a misdirected role, and killing every white in sight would be a foolish goal. But the answer they agreed upon by 360 degrees was to sabotage the super rich and bring them to their knees. With equal three-man units, they made up 9 divisions, each having autonomy to make its own decisions. In fact, they would not meet again until their work was done, so they set about to wage a war they had already won. They spread across the country, brilliant black birds of prey, and lay in wait for their target date, the 25th day of May. 'Twas round about midnight when the battle began. 'Twas round about midnight when the fertilizer hit the fan. The first unit caused fire to flood the face of night, conflagrations that quickly consumed every bank in sight. When even the U.S. Mint had seen its final spark, they saluted the spirit of Shaka and dispersed into the dark. The second unit caused the blackout to sweep across the land. They moved through the major cities, their craft and their command. And after the final auxiliary generator had been discovered and destroyed, they poured a libation for Lewis H. Latimer and vanished into the void. The third unit attacked the airways, cut communications cold. Then they tied up transportation and watched the panic unfold. And after they finished their mission and the land was filled with fright, they whispered a word for Granville T. Woods and went into the night. The fourth unit blew up the factories, the industries, the plants, the mills, employing dazzling demolition and detonation skills. And as soon as they disposed of the last item on their list, they expressed a moment for Elijah McCoy and moved into the mist. The fifth unit blew up the stock exchange, sending securities up in smoke, finished their mission a moment before a smiling sun awoke. They waited until the darkness had given way and gone, then mourned for Marcus Garvey and disappeared into the dawn. The sixth unit struck the shipyards, the crafts, the cargo, the stock. They hit the harbors, the piers and ports, till they destroyed the final dock. Then they faced the rising sun and through its brightest ray, sent a cable to Sinkay and diffused into the day. The seventh unit assailed the arsenals, and in a deafening flash, all the arms and ammunition were reduced to smoke and ash. They advanced into the atmosphere, breathing a timeless tune after praying for Gabriel Prosser and nestling into the noon. Upon Fort Knox, the earth, upon Fort Knox, the eighth unit fell, while wondering at its worth. Whatever reserves of gold remained, they returned to Mother Earth. They had discovered it was little more than a decorated dune, so they paid tribute to Tutankhamun and tipped into afternoon. The ninth unit was the death squad, and to their name held true. They killed the captains of industry and the families of the few. And when the remnants of the super rich had been removed from all their might, in the nimbus of Nat Turner, they eased into evening light. The country was in a state of shock, ash and blood and death. Some could not speak a single sound, others held back their breath. The air was filled with frozen fear, the ground was drenched with dung. Then came the rain like a burning blues, a song already sung. The Pentagon received a package from a source unheard, unseen, a roll of gold papyrus with letters red, black, and green. It told of the 27 and the details of the day and how after their deed was done, they each had gone their way. How could the speed of cries went out? Can anybody tell? A mere 27 black men could not have caused this hell. But then someone seemed to remember how 5,000 people were fed on 2 single fish and a mere 5 loaves of bread. From somewhere in the stratosphere came sounds of bird and train. From somewhere in the hemisphere, Hannibal hewed a hurricane. And somewhere moved the Black Brigade, their shadows growing big. Just a band of black musicians on just another gig.
Y'all give it to him. Listen up here.
See, we have people who hear even when you whisper. So we thank you, Brother George Edward Tate and Sister Akosua Tate, for hearing. Without Baba and Mama saying it, they heard and they listened and they paid attention. And so what a wonderful way to pay tribute to them. So as we continue in with this tradition, this honoring, we have some of our political prisoners were able to call. Thank you to Sally, who showed me how to work my equipment, because I am challenged when it comes to that. So, but I have finally figured out, hey, there's some things I know how to do good and other things not, right? So the technology is one of them. But thankfully, we were able to record some of the brothers. They called in. So you are going to hear the recording of Sundiata Akoli. You're going to hear Jaleel Muntakim and you're going to hear Mumia, and you're going to hear Abdul Majid. And then we're going to have statements read from Brother Russell Maroon Schultz. And we didn't get, unfortunately, statements from Seth, but he, of course, oh, we did. Okay, so we got one from Seth, so that will be read. And I want you to know, Iyaluua and Herman, Veronza Bowers, because I spoke with him, and he wanted to do a tribute, but because of, like you said on the show last night, he's still fighting to get out, although he's supposed to be out 10 years ago. So he was advised by his attorneys that it wasn't a good idea for him to record because they can always twist it and turn it. But he wanted you to know that he sends you his love, and he sends you many, many wishes for life and love and revolutionary greetings. And he asked me to make sure that I said that to you. So Veronza Bowers. So we'll hear the recordings of our political prisoners as they pay tribute to Herman and Iyaluua Ferguson.
Assalamu alaikum. Just want to give a shout out to Herman and Iyaluua, wishing them both a healthy and good new year, and inshallah that they continue on doing the work they've been doing. And I want to thank them both for the contributions that they.
DeAndrea. She's my baby girl that I acquired late in life, apparently.
And there was a Daniel Bowen here, I think he had to leave. Now he was Herman's first cousin's grandson. So this is just to show you that there are 3 generations of family here. And we're all very happy to be here today to honor this special couple, not only for all that they've accomplished, but also because, frankly, a lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You know? We love them not only for all that they have done in the struggle for the liberation of our people, but of course because they're family. And we realized a long time ago that we had to share them with a lot of others who've been influenced or touched or mentored by them. But remember, we've had them for a lot longer than most of you, and we were very fortunate to have them to teach, instruct, nurture, and love us in this cold, cruel place called America. You know? We have a somewhat different perspective on them than you do, I think. Like all of you, we applaud their dedication and tireless work to bring about freedom, justice, and equality for us as Black people and for oppressed people throughout the world. But I think we are more acutely aware of the sacrifices that they have made to continue to do this work. And that's personal sacrifices, professional sacrifices, and family sacrifices. But they have remained steadfast in their commitment to the people, to our people, and I know I am very proud of what they have done and what they continue to do. Theirs has been an incredible and oftentimes perilous journey, but they have remained true to their beliefs and commitment to the upliftment and liberation of Africans throughout the diaspora. We cherish and love them as family, and we are also proud of what they have done and all the people they have touched, and we add our congratulations and best wishes and love to them on this special occasion.
I had to think a little bit about what I would say about my grandparents. I remember telling my mother that I'm gonna say something. I don't know what it is yet, but it's gonna be something. And when I think about it, I remember spending my summers in Guyana with my grandparents, not knowing why I had to go there. It was fun. We had great flights and harassed stewardesses and all sorts of things, but I didn't know why. I remember when my first child was born, and Colonel came home very soon after. I remember for a little while being kind of sort of to blame of that. But I did not fully understand who my grandparents were and what they did until I had to go to certain events and have people sign petitions. And then later on, much later on in life, when I had to help and started running the kitchen for these dinners and working with Daquis, who's I love. She's like one of my bestest sisters, okay? And all of the things that they are to you. It wasn't until then that I began to understand. And over the years, when I watched my babies, who literally, Daquis reminded me, have grown up with this dinner. The twins are 17, and they have been here probably since day one. Donovan is 18, and they used to be the little ones that ran around and sold y'all tickets, and then picked the numbers out of the hats and things like that. But I have to say that I have always been in awe of my grandparents and really what they mean to you. It showed me a side of them that I had, I guess, kind of sort of been blinded to for so much of my youth. And while I may not have admitted this many years ago, I can say now proudly that there are two people in this world that I could not imagine living without, and maybe even want to be like when I grow up. Okay? So I say to you that I understand, that we appreciate your struggle, that we appreciate your sacrifices and everything that you have done for the freedom of our people.
Okay, so without any further ado, we want to thank everyone for their tributes. Wait a minute, my students know, I just want to, okay, that's my crew back there. You know when people say ride or die? Those are they graduated. They are no longer my students in my classes now, but they come back, and one of them said, Miss, what do you think? We was not gonna miss this. We come here every year. So I want to say thank you, Teresa, Danielle, Trishana, Clarissa, Ashley, Michelle. I want to say thank you to all of y'all, Kaya, for being here and doing this work. So I want to bring this sister up here, DK Dyson, and so you can put up her CD, right? DK Dyson, remember that name. She is another sister that is on our CD, Freedom Ain't Free. The name of her song is Freedom Ain't Free. And just to give you a little story about when we did this CD, Mogadishu went to pick DK up. She was writing the song in the car. His sons were working their magic in the studio. And it all came together for this phenomenal song. So get ready for a phenomenal artist who we are so incredibly appreciative, and no stranger to MXCC, because I found out about her from a number of years ago when she participated, and I bought her CDs then, and I listened to them because they are food for the spirit and the soul and the mind, and for the womanhood. Sisterhood. So DK Dyson, y'all.
All right, everybody sit up straight for a minute. Let's sit up straight. You know we built the pyramids, right? Okay, so let's breathe in deep and breathe out love and light to the Fergusons here, so that they can have continued health, life, and longevity and strength. So let's breathe in deep and hold it. Hold it, sit up straight, and you can breathe in some more. And blow out your air towards this powerful couple so that they can have what I just talked about. Let's blow it out on Shu, the goddess of air. Shh. One more time, raise your hands up now. Raise your hands up. Breathe in deep. Sit up straight, sit up straight. We're strong people. Breathe in some more. Now breathe, close your eyes, and think of love, longevity, strength, and blow it towards their way so this family can continue to grow and free more of our political prisoners. All right? And let's bring our hands down. Remember, we are powerful, more powerful than we think we are. We are powerful together. All right, so on the strength of my mother, Vivian Dyson, my father, James Dyson, my brother, Setu Jim Dyson, who died in the struggle. Brownsville, Ocean Hill, Brownsville, PS 28, 271. I'm here on the strength of Brooklyn, and I love all of y'all, and I take this very serious. Ashe. Blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland you see, but locked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never gonna be free. Blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland you see, but blocked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never, never, never gonna be free. Iba orisha mawo alawoye yokode. Iba orisha mawo alawoye yokode. Yeah. Iba orisha mawo alawoye yokode. Iba orisha mawo alawoye yokode.
I want to have Ann is going to come and read Seth.
Greetings, family, on our 18th annual dinner tribute to the families of political prisoners and prisoners of war, with special emphasis to the dynamic duo, Baba Herman Ferguson and Queen Mother, Sister Iyaluua Ferguson. At this honorable occasion where we lift up voices, fists, and vociferated claims, we've come together this night as family, united, purposeful, and dedicated. We rise to the occasion and extend our strong love and nod to each other, recognizing all of the many, many thanks that are due you for all the sacrifices you have given us. We salute you, this family of comrades past and present. Know we honor you among us who keep the struggle of resistance recognizable and moving forward. I'd like to add to that honor view. By shouting aloud, honored family, lift your voices along with mine in honor of two awe-inspiring honorees, Iyaluua and Baba, whose stories are known and renowned. Add your voices to mine with love and honor to our dynamic duo. To families present, representatives of sisters and brothers still confined, and remembrance of those who have passed on. Know that we all share the deepest, profoundest prayers and respect for Herman and Iyaluua, that they will be honored, remembered, and we will be liberated and free. And afterwards, we'll meet like this and plan additional levels of our greatness. Love to you all, honor and appreciation to all of you. I am Seth Odinga Olagbala, aka Robert Seth Hayes, and together we truly built to win. Thank you, family, for making me a part of this marvelous event. The struggle continues. Robert Seth Hayes.
Brother Russell to read his dad, Russell Maroon's tribute.
This is from my father, Russell Maroon Shooks. It has come to my attention that in addition to honoring the families of political prisoners, this year, Malcolm X Commemoration Committee will also bestow honors on two of our most respected and beloved elders, Baba and Mama Ferguson, around whom the committee was formed and all that they have done over the years. Baba and Mama Ferguson are shining examples of two dedicated and unwavering fighters in the struggle for freedom and justice. Alas, there is not space enough here for me to detail their lifetime of sacrifices and contributions to our struggle. I will only say that their lives and work have always lent inspiration to my own efforts, and one day I hope to rise to the levels they live by and display. Straight ahead, Maroon.
Thank you, thank you. So as much as possible, we included people's statements in the program, so I hope that everyone has gotten a program so that they have, and that you read it and you can see what people have said about this loving couple, this dynamic duo. And I do hope that, how many people have left to sign the book? Oh, good. Okay, so the book is going around. Make sure you don't leave here without signing the book, because that book is one of our special gifts that they will continue to have and hold on to. Okay, so we want to start with the community tributes, and we first call Baba Reverend Herbert Daughtry up to the podium.
Thank you so much, Daki, and to all of the hardworking brothers and sisters. I tell you, those of you who have never been put away, you'll never know how much it means that people don't forget. I was doing some involuntary vacation for the state, and fully paid for, of course, by the state. And in fact, I was gainfully employed. It cost about 25 cents a day is what we earned. I was doing my time, I was going to do life on the installment plan, a couple of years here, 5 years there. So what you're doing and what all of you are doing, I see Lumumba over there, I think, and all of the people who've been working so hard, I salute you. I had to be here for Herman and Iyaluua. I guess to some extent, I'm responsible for, I let Sonny Carson of Ubadiga talk to me and said, Herman's coming home, man. Let's go out to the airport. And we're going out to the airport. And so we went out to the airport, surely. We said that we were going to take him home with us. And when we got to the airport, of course, there were other people who had other ideas about it. And Sonny Carson, we all know, Sonny Carson wangled around, and we tried, but they wouldn't turn him over to us. They decided to keep him. And you know the rest of the story, but we remained in touch with each other and continued to be in touch with each other. And I spend some time, of course, I can come out now when I want to, but I usually go up, in fact, up to Sullivan. In fact, I'll be at Sullivan tomorrow and Easton tomorrow. And so even then we communicated with each other. So I'm just here, I had to be here to pay tribute and to join my voice with the voices that have gone on in tribute, and to say to all of the brothers, sisters who are incarcerated, I remember the years that you went away, and I remember the years that even Twyman Myers, I remember writing, who will weep for Twyman Myers? And I remember saying, I will weep for Twyman Myers. And so I will not only weep, but I will continue to struggle until all of the brothers and sisters are free. I just returned from Nelson Mandela's funeral. I was honored to be invited to the private funeral and burial, and every time I think about him and the struggle, 27 years, and he came from there to be the president. And so we send our greetings to all the brothers and sisters. Keep hope alive. We never know what tomorrow shall bring. Don't give up, keep hope alive, and we out here will never forget you and all the things that you've done for us and all the struggles that you waged. Thank you very much.
I want to call Deb and Yah from the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee to come forward. As they're doing that, I think that Teresa, Pam, right? Where's Pam? Oh, okay. So, okay, so let them do what they're getting ready to present, and then Pam and Teresa, because Teresa's signing the book. And we definitely hope that Iyaluua and Herman are going to love the book, right? So I just want to say that these two sisters, her name is Debbie, but we call her Deb, and Sister Yah, Santiwa, and Zinga are part of the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee. And in working with them, they have also come into working with MXCC. So we want to do a special presentation to Herman and Iyaluua Ferguson. So can we hear it for the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee?
Okay. Well, I'm just so happy to be here. I spent the first part of the morning at the going home services for our brother Emir Baraka. And I never knew it would be so hard to get from New Jersey back over to New York. But I made it. And as a people, we have to be in so many places at one time. But as I was rushing, I thought about our political prisoners, and I said, I know they wish they had the problem of getting from New Jersey to New York and back to Brooklyn. So I shut my mouth like I was supposed to. But I just want to say this to the Fergusons. When I watched you come in to the viewing, to the wake yesterday, I actually began to tear up, because I just thought how, and maybe you get more recognition than I see you get, but I just thought, wow, there were some celebrities in there that were being recognized, but to me, the most powerful couple that came in there yesterday were the two of you. I said to one of my girlfriends, I said, do you know who that is? And she didn't. And I had Brother Ferguson, your book with me, and I said, read this book so that you will know who they are. But you are my hero and my shero, and I just want you to know that.
My name is Deborah Ingram, and I just like to say to the Fergusons that words cannot express the gratitude and love that I have for you in my heart. I had the honor of sitting next to Mrs. Ferguson yesterday, and I was in such awe. I didn't even know what to say. I just sat there. I was like, okay, you've got the opportunity to talk to this elder, but I was just in such awe, and I just pray that God continue to bless and strengthen you, that you will have many, many more years to share your love with us. Thank you.
So at this time, we would like to present you with this. It kind of looks like an award, but it's not, because if you turn it on the back, it says, redeemable for a fabulous trip to the Bahamas. Enjoy, SODC, the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee, because as they say, you deserve a break today. You deserve a break today, and the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee is going to give you that break that you deserve. So please, whenever you're ready to go, we are ready to send you. We are ready to send you. So those, I know all of us aren't up here. Where is Mogadishu? And anyone else from the May, please raise your hand, because Mogadishu likes to stay out the spotlight in this kind of event. Where is Anoshi? Where is Anoshi? And Mogadishu initiated this. And I have a sneaky feeling that he's probably handling some financial aspect of it. But listen, there they are, and listen, hey, it is what it is, so I present this to you with all our love.
Okay, so we're going to have Teresa finish signing the book and Pam come up. The Philly folks? Oh no, tell him that here, Mama, it's here. I found it up here. Yeah, I was trying to get you.
Check that I had. No, just a check.
I want you to know we did have 2 men that was involved in this with us. My husband, Herman, who didn't get up. Where's Iyaluua? Over there. It's always the women, okay? The men was involved in it. Okay.
So, to Mama and Baba Ferguson, I like to say that as a little girl, a 9-year-old girl, when my daddy, one of the escapes my dad did, I was still in middle school, and we lived right across the street from the middle school. I still do to this day. And I'm up against the gate, and I'm looking as the police are kicking in our door, and I knew my mother was in there, and all the kids had been evacuated out to school as if he was smart enough to get out of the prison, but dumb enough to come home. That wasn't happening. But what I like to say, at that time I felt so lonely. We were only kids in that school that had someone in prison 40 years ago. It was just really unheard of. So when I walked through that door, even when we came through the Brooklyn door, I always feel love when I come through. If I can't get it nowhere else throughout the year, with all the agendas that be going on, I know I can get it right here. And from you too, when I'm in need, and I try not to call you anymore crying, because Baba Ferguson put that to an end when he gave me a command to stand up and straighten up and stop crying and fight for your dad. And I hung up that phone with like I had a command. I saluted. That was my stepping orders, and I got out there and did what I had to do. So I love you, and we love you forever. And I don't know who New York think they are giving up trips. Now, you know, the Philly crew is in the house, but I appreciate them too for giving y'all a trip, but y'all can't be trying to stand us up now. Here you go, get the Philly crew up in the house. Come on, Pam. So we did a big photo of you guys with the families, and it looked like it did a move on its own, but it's your nation time. Yeah, it's the heading of your Nation Time paper that they did, which if you can get a hold of any of those older issues, it's like an encyclopedia of our movement and history of our political prisoners. So we'll make sure it's right, and we're going to mail it to you, therefore you don't have to travel with it, but it's you and the families and Baba Ferguson, and it looks like one of your covers. All right, so Pam.
Teresa, what about us bringing it to him? You know, we don't want it to get messed up. So Herman, can we take it to him? All right, so we're going to bring it to you, okay? All right, and the dynamic duo, I met y'all in 1995. And during the Mumia trials, it was real hectic and real terroristic things was going on, but I will always be standing up there on the mic, and the young man here is always urging me on and to go after them, the police in a way that I usually do. I know he want me to say it, but I'm not saying it yet. And but Sister Iyaluua, And I would be standing there, and you know how you'd be speaking and somebody can focus in on you, and I would look and she'd be right there. Certain moves I'd be making, I'd be moving around, and her eyes would be right there. It was like a protective thing. And to this day, those eyes of this sister has always been a protective eye on me and the rest of my family. And I never forget when I married my husband, I told Herman, it was at a political prisoners dinner, and he said, I heard you got married. I said, yeah, and I went to introduce him to Herman. Herman said, who did you ask? He wanted to know because Herman not only loved us, he's like a father to us. And he felt as though that anybody that married me should have came to him and he should have known who he is. And ever since then, he know my husband, he know him well, and we do come to them all the way in North Carolina because ain't no geographical thing going to separate us from this dynamic duo.
I just want to say, I also came to New York in the early 1990s, actually 1990. And the Safia Bukharis and the Fergusons and the Holders and Chongo and all of those people who welcomed me here to New York. And I remember my dad saying, you gotta go to the political prisoner dinner. And it was then held in Harlem in the state office building in the basement. And every year I've been coming since the early 90s, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Would have been here to salute you 1,000 times over again. And if they do it again in 3 more years, we'll be back again. But anyway, the Philly, and although I'm Philly, half Jersey, New York, wanted to present you with a plaque presented to the Fergusons for your dedication and service to our nation, our movement, and our political prisoners and their families from Pan Africa, the Schultz family, Brother Jerry, Razakai Wali, Khalid Abdul Rashid, Ann Lamb, and Brother M. Wright. We present this to you. You gonna give her the plaque?
Where's Ann Lamb? Ann had helped us throughout this whole thing. And she helped me put this together, and she said she would be on the stage, but we like to thank her also, although she's not, she is part of Philly also. Thank you. Nice. And when Pam says they're gonna take it to them, she means it. That's beautiful, you know, that is really beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so, and I also say when Herman, Iyaluua was the first person when my love asked me to marry him. Iyaluua was the first person that I told. And then I told her when I went to visit them, one of those visits. And then, it wasn't public knowledge, but I remember when Herman called me, he did the same thing. It wasn't that he said, who said, he just said, he asked me questions. He said that he knew that Sekou was an honorable, decent, principled human being, but that he was asking me questions because I was his daughter too. And he wanted to make sure that I understood and that Sekou understood that this was not just about me and Sekou, but the community of people who love us and love him. And so I'm honored to be in that same circle. So thank you. Okay, so we want to call, let's see, because we had a list, and of course, because we're late. Ann, Ann, I thought I saw Ann come in. Okay, so you want to come up? Not if I want to. Do you want to come up? Come. Naya, is Naya still here? Yes. Nellie still here?
And Mama Iyaluua, that long before I knew them, my life was influenced by them, because my father was one of those progressive white teachers who participated in the strike, who did not participate in the strike, and sat us all down. I was 7 years old, when he explained to us why he, a union man, was going to cross a picket line because it was a racist strike. It was a racist strike against community control of the schools. So you inspired him, and he, in turn, explained to us why. So long before I knew you, I was 7 years old, I knew about you. I knew that you were doing the great work. You know, my dad said these people are absolutely right. You know, we have to support them. They need community control. We have to have it, and we're not gonna, worry about any picket line. We're gonna cross, he taught in Harlem, we're gonna cross that line and teach our students. So then, many years later, I meet you through, of course, Safia Bukhari, when we were forming Jericho, and I was like, oh, these are the people Dad was telling me about, right? All these years ago. And I have to say, I can't even put into words how much you inspire me, and how grateful I am for your mere existence on the planet, and all the wonderful work that you've done over all these years. And really, it's just amazing to me that you're just so awesome. I hate to use that word, but for you it works. You are just extremely awesome people, warriors who have never stopped, who work constantly, for the freedom of our political prisoners, who I know you all feel like a family to you. And I'm very happy that you are my honorary family, because, who am I? I'm just a little stupid Irish schmuck from the Bronx, but, I'm like, wow, I know Herman and Iyaluua Ferguson. It's just amazing. You've changed my life. And thank you so, so much.
Okay, Naya. We probably should have had you come sit up here, but I think you didn't want to move.
Okay, can you hear me?
Naya, I'm sorry. Naya from the Amnesty.
Can you all hear me? Okay, Hotep. I'm going to keep it real brief. I've met Herman and Iyaluua when I first got to New York about 17, 18 years ago. And you guys have been like parents to me. And I don't want to get emotional because we've had that, but they're the strongest, most revolutionary couple that I know. There's nobody like them, period. They are committed, they are dedicated, they are beautiful, they're inspirational. And they treat my daughters like their grands. They treat me like a daughter. We went to see them in North Carolina about 2 years ago. We did everything. We went to the gym, we hung out, we went to the jacuzzi, I think, we went swimming. Yeah, you was there, we all went, and it's beautiful. This is a powerful couple. You've inspired so many people. And if nobody's told you, you're beautiful. And I love you with all my heart. I really love you. And the family is amazing. This is their family right here. The whole table is part of their amazing family, and they're just beautiful, and I love you. And when I first came here, I was writing for Nation Time, and my ex-husband at the time was laying out the paper, and we've worked together forever. And when I need guidance, I will ask Herman, and Herman will call me. And I used to write for the Daily Challenge, and Herman would come and say, "What the heck was the article you just wrote?" Or "Who are you talking to?" Or what was? And he gets on me and he keeps me straight and he gives me guidance. And I love this man. I love you, Mr. Iyaluua. Appreciate you. And my daughter wants to give you a little gift. Where is she? Olayemi? Larry, come. I didn't know people were giving gifts, but we just got you a little something, so. Thank you.
Thank you. The beauty about this dinner is that, it's beauty, but it's also pain, because you see the children become adults, right? But you see people having their children here. Okay, so Brother Mogadishu. This is our member of the Sekou Odinga Defense Committee.
Thank you very much. Peace and love, everyone. For me, it's ironic in terms of my involvement in the struggle. Many people don't know me. Like, they know my face for the last 30, 40 years. But my slave name is Norman Coward. Think about that. But people know me as Mogadishu. And the oppressor knows about Mogadishu. when they went to assassinate General ID, there was an ambush. They said it was a ragtag army and we was gonna go in there and just sweep it up. And before it was all over and the smoke cleared, there was like 20 dead American soldiers and 2 Black Hawks down. And that's Mogadishu, right? I went to junior high school 271 in Ocean Hill, Brownsville. And there was this power struggle going on in the community. I was a little young guy and I see police helicopters and people talking about community control. And later on I went to Medgar Evers College and there was some crookedness going on and, you know, the state appointed lackey, and we wound up taking over that school and getting rid of that president, and we occupied that school for 110 days. And later on, as a student in 1981, there was some action in Queens, and 2 brothers of the Black Panther Party, Bashir Hamid and Abdul Majid, was captured, and we formed a defense committee for them back then. And it endured like 3 trials and a whole lot of, you know, trickery, and eventually they, you know, railroaded them. And through all of that, I learned to study, to organize, and honoring. At the time, I hadn't met Herman Ferguson and Iyaluua, but I knew of them. I knew about them when they were in Guyana, and recently read about the Great Dane in the days and, you know, in Guyana, and that, you know, decision for Herman to come back and what it meant and why he had to come back to be a part of his people. And I said, you know, we have to honor this man. We have to honor this courageous sister. And something she said maybe a year or 2 ago here. We have to do something. We got to do it better, but we have to free somebody. And I thank God that he's free and he's here with us. And we should continue to honor their legacy. So I thank you personally, Brother Herman and Sister Iyaluua.
Okay, Sister Pam Hanna and Brother Jihad Abdul Mamit, you coming up here too, Jihad? And we know it's kind of long, but can you just keep it down so that you can hear the tributes? Are you waving to me, Teresa?
Okay, y'all can hear? When I read your book, Barbara, all right, calm down. When I read your book, I couldn't think of anything but footsteps. The footsteps, because I come from Jamaica, Queens, and it was in the Black Panther Party. We often said we were the children of Malcolm, but I suspect we're the children of Barbara Herman here. I mean, he walked down Rochdale Village, the Circle on Farmers and Liberty, the Red, Black, and Green Rock. These are all the footsteps that we took to continue. So I want to read something from a brother that was part of those same footsteps. We all came out of Jamaica branch of the Black Panther Party, all right? It says, a mother's vigil. I touched the gentle hands of Abdullah Majid's mother, and like so many others, a mother's pain has no covers. In her quiet strength and resolve, she can only hope for the best, the incumbent upon all of us, to at least attempt to rectify some of this mess. We could hardly rest. I happen to know her son personally, thus magnifying the gravity of the circumstance. The sheer abject travesty of it all literally gnaws at me. There are far too many good brothers and sisters who will never be free unless we adamantly bring the plight of America's political prisoners to the forefront for the world to see. And that's how we grew on your backs. And we are who I hope we make you proud. And Jamel, my comrade, is the writer.
That's beautiful, brother. Stand up. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Jihad Abdul-Mumit. I have inherited Brother Herman and Sister Iyalua's brainchild here. I'm the chairperson of the Jericho Movement. So I made a joke to Herman how he tricked me that day. But really, on the serious side, I want everybody for a minute to really take stock and inventory with yourself. Did you realize that supporting political prisoners and calling for their release is our connection with the revolutionary movement? There's not an organization that would even dare call themselves revolutionary in any context, any sense of the word, if you do not recognize and support political prisoners, those freedom fighters that put themselves out there more than this day and time would even allow us to do. I'll say that again, that put themselves out there more than this day and time would allow us to do. Is there nobody jacking no rounds in no chamber of a 9mm today? There's nobody jacking around in a 9mm today. Did you hear what I say? I'm formerly a member of the Black Liberation Army. I did my 23 years in prison on a 43-year sentence. So now Jericho has those soldiers in this organization. So I'm representing my comrades in prison. So here's the deal. We're in a kind of quirky situation here in this place called the United States of America, because all of our ideas and readings about revolutionary struggle has changed. The game plan has changed. And it's going to require for each and every one of us to be just a little bit more innovative and creative about what we do. Otherwise, we won't be able to do it. You can't even say power to the people and death to the pig without going to jail on that. Do you answer your phone that way like we used to? Is anybody answering their phone like that? You got ringtones. You got ringtones on your phone today. It ain't saying all power to the people and death to the pigs. I can guarantee you that. This is the legacy that we inherited from these beautiful sister and brother right here. So I want everybody to take stock and inventory about the challenge that we are up against today. And what makes it such a big challenge today, that level of consciousness that we experienced in the 60s and 70s is not pervasive in the United States anymore. In the 60s and 70s, you can have a drug dealer give you all power to the people and actually mean it, aside from his addiction, and actually mean it. Now we have intellectuals saying it astutely and don't mean it. So Herman and Iyaluua, speaking for all my comrades and sisters and brothers that are in prison right now, speaking for all our sisters and brothers who are members of Jericho and in coalition with the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, the Malcolm X Commemoration Committee, the Republic of New Africa, and all of our organizations that are out there dealing with this question, this issue of freeing political prisoners. Sister and brother, we vow, pledge our continued die-hard effort to free our comrades that are in prison today. Are y'all with me? All power to the people.
Thank you, Brother Jihad. You know, we have a couple of people who are former PPs, POWs in the room, and the blessing is that they're here, but we want so many more to be here, and it will not happen unless we do the work, because those prison doors will not open unless we kick them open with our organizing. So, okay, so Sally, I want Sally O'Brien to come up. And then, I don't know, Paulette, did you still want to?
I just say thank you from here. My pleasure, my honor to always work with you. You are such great teachers. I can't thank you enough for what I've learned from you.
Free all political prisoners. Let's bring them all home right away. This year, that's right. You know, in 1988, I began a show called Where We Live,
on WBAI. And the purpose of that program was to give voice to the political prisoners. At that time, very shortly after that, within the first year or two, Safia Bukhari joined me, and she became the co-host of Where We Live until her death. And our focus was political prisoners. We started the Mumia Coalition to start to do that. And the first time that I met Herman and Iyaluua, actually I met Herman via telephone, was when Herman returned back from exile in Guyana, and Iyaluua got in touch with me and Safia, and we had Herman on from prison. And I asked Herman, why did you come back? I mean, you knew they were going to put you in jail. It would have seemed maybe you could stay out of jail, do some work over there, and not come back. And Herman said, when I heard about Assata Shakur, and I heard what was going on in so many different areas, I knew that this is where I had to be. And so he came home, and they put him in jail. And Iyaluua then had to suffer what Sister Dequi has to suffer. Sister Dequi is the co-host of Where We Live also now. And so Iyaluua, being the proactive woman that she is 18 years ago, decided, okay, this tribute dinner for the families of political prisoners, understanding the anguish and the pain and the fear and the heartache and the courage that has to be exhibited at all times. And then Herman got out, and I got to meet Herman. And Herman came into the Mumia Coalition as a leader with Safia. And then after that, forming the Jericho Movement, which I had the privilege of working on the formation of it with Herman, Iyaluua, Safia, Jalil, whose brainchild it was. And I found out what an awesome taskmaster Herman Ferguson was. I mean, if you've never worked in a coalition with Herman, it's an experience, because you're sitting there in a meeting and people are saying, okay, I can do this. Okay, yeah, I'll pick this up. I'll do this. I'll do this. And Herman's there. And so when everybody finishes speaking, he says, okay, so-and-so, you said you're going to do this. What's your time frame? Okay, so-and-so, you said you're going to do this. Tuesday? Am I going to hear from you Tuesday? You're going to have this done? Tuesday might be one day from then, you know. And then, during and after the formation of Jericho, Herman made a manual for how you organize, an organizing manual. And I mean, people should really find that manual and take heed. All right, it's on the Jericho website, because Jericho.com, that is, the JerichoMovement.com, because the prototype that's in that organizing manual will help us organize ourselves much better. But, you know, it's not just politically that makes me so honored to be standing here giving you tribute today, because many of us lost our elders a long time ago, and you became my elders, for real, for real. And you also showed the example of how a partnership and a couple, a man and a woman, or whatever that configuration is, but in this instance, a man and a woman can do their life together and have such love and respect for each other as an example. And I thank you so much, and I love you very much, and I always will. Thank you.
And we need y'all to listen to Where We Live on Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so this just in, I'm gonna, I guess, we're gonna call up Karima, Iyaluua's granddaughter, but before I do that, I'm just so honored because Brother Akeem, who people will know, or some, is from the People of the Sun Collective at Medgar Evers College, who does the tribute to the ancestors of the Middle Passage out on Coney Island, Kwanzaa, feeding the hungry every year, just so much work. He came here and he had mentioned to me that he was doing it, every year he does an African Spirit Award to give honor to people who he believes, their committee believes is doing good work. And so he came here today to give me a flyer that says, in honor of Black History Month, the Office of Student Life, the Black History Month Committee, and the People of the Sun Middle Passage Collective presents the African Spirit Award to Dr. John Gibbs. I'm not sure who that is, but I know who the other person is, and that's me. So I'm really honored by that. So I am really humbled and honored by that. So if you are free on February 22nd, at Medgar Evers College in the People's Republic of Brooklyn on Bedford Avenue, come on through. I would really love to see you there and have your participation. And that is one of the things that he does to raise funds for the tribute to the ancestors of the Middle Passage. So Akeem, if you have more, you can give people, you have flyers there. So I really thank you, and I'm really honored by this. So thank you so very much. I love you back. Thank you. February 22nd. Okay, so I guess the ending of our tributes, are you coming up? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh yeah, oh yes. Right, we do this work around decriminalizing the criminalization of Black resistance and the Black freedom struggle. So we are working to have a national Assata Shakur Liberation Day every year on the date of her liberation, November 2nd. And when people talk about Herman coming back to face political imprisonment, when people talk about Harriet Tubman going back to free all those people when she escaped, Sekou came back, right? So he didn't stay in exile, and that's no indication of anyone else, but he came back because he felt like he needed to be a part of the struggle to liberate African people here. And so we can't just talk about the past and glorify those heroes and sheroes. We gotta be about the heroes and sheroes that we have living in the present. So Sekou is one, he's, you know, not only my husband and my love, but he's also my hero, because when you do what you don't have to do, you do it because you know it's the correct thing to do. You're not doing it because other people are looking. You're just doing it because, like Iyaluua said, it's just what needs to be done. And we all in this room are the beneficiaries of people who did what needed to be done. And so it is now on our watch to do what needs to be done. So we hope that it goes past this day, and we know that there are people here that do a lot of stuff. So we don't want you to just work harder, we want us to work smarter. So without any further ado, we're gonna have the family members, okay, Mike Ferguson, Herman's son, and Karima Blaze, Iyalua's granddaughter.
Thank you. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Greetings to all of you. We are the family of this dynamic duo that you're honoring today. And I just wanted to, Herman and Iyaluua, and I just wanted to call out the family. As DeQuee said, I'm Michael Ferguson. I'm Herman's oldest son and Iyalua's stepson. My daughter, Kristen Ferguson, stand up. She's a grandchild. My sister, Jackie, who's here from Los Angeles. And her daughter, Jasmine, who's a grandchild. Please stand up. And she's a twin. There's another one in Los Angeles, couldn't make the trip. My brother Mark, stand up. And his girlfriend Gabrielle. And his twin sons, Michael and Brandon. These are grandchildren. Karima Blaze, of course, Herman and Iyalua's granddaughter. And then we have Chad Blaze, Karima's husband. We have Jared and Justin and Donovan Blaze. These are great-grandchildren of Herman and Iyaluua, and you've seen them, as was said before. They have been coming to this since they were little, very young children. And is Daniel Bowen still here? Okay.
So knowledge is inherent to birth, wisdom too. Knowledge and noble ones we meet along the way, pushing hard to open up our minds, which supremely should be focused on the stars. Serious, serious, serious. Blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland, you see. But blocked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never gonna be free. Hear me loud, blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland, you see. But blocked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never gonna be free. The babies pure with hope, ancestors holding them strong. By the time miseducation rolls around, they're taught loving our people is wrong. Brothers and sisters holding the line, years upon years of struggle. We've got to have their back so our people can shine. Blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland, you see. But blocked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never gonna be free. Hear me clear, blackness flows as molten gold from the motherland, you see. But locked hard in this matrix box, freedom ain't never gonna be free. Talking about freedom today, tomorrow, yeah, freedom today, tomorrow, yeah, freedom today, tomorrow, yeah. Thank you. And I just want to say to my indigenous brother and sister whose blood flows through my veins, I honor you, I praise you, and our political prisoners locked all across these fake states, in Peru, in Cuba, everywhere where our Pan-African diaspora people live and where our whole humanity of brethren live. I honor you, I praise you, and may this stupidity of lockdown cease and desist as I speak. With our help, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Did I not tell you? I am telling you, you want to take that Freedom Ain't Free CD home with you. And you're going to play it and play it and play it. Not only are you going to enjoy it, but you're also going to be helping us to raise funds for Sekou's legal defense and paying tribute to the Black freedom struggle, right? And tribute to our Black and New African political prisoners and prisoners of war. Because if we don't, then who? If we don't tell our own stories, we already know who's telling our stories and who is creating the mythology and the distortion around our stories. So D.K. Dyson is on that CD. Brother George Edward Tate is on that CD. Brother Shaka with Maroon Society is on that CD. There are so many people. I know I'm forgetting someone in here. I know I'm forgetting someone in here in this room, but and I'm not just saying that the CD is a powerful CD because we did it. I'm saying it because it's the truth. So please get that CD. So we're gonna have people come up. My granddaughter Alani has told me, Nanny, I'm getting a lot of money because she's running around. She's doing what Donovan, Jared, and Justin used to do. Oh, there you are, Mama. Come. Right? She's doing what they used to do, selling the raffles, right? And so now is that time. So before we do that, I just want to let you know that we are so appreciative of your participation, your support, your presence, your work, everything that you do and help us do on behalf of our freedom fighters. And to Iyaluua, and Herman's not in here, but we send love across the highways, in the byways, and through the spirits and the telephone, and we just love you and Herman so much, and it is our honor to pay tribute to you and Herman. Yes.
Take your time.
I just wanted an opportunity to say thank you to everybody, and to just, I really don't have the words, but I want to say a couple of things about how very honored and in many ways humble I feel. First of all, I was just so honored that Rosetta York was here today. You have no idea what this means to me. She came, she's the mother of Bashir Hamid. She came to the very first dinner we gave, and she came every year after that. The beautiful, beautiful woman, and I was just so honored that she and Sister Laborde were here. I also, when I listened to the Sister Dyson, I don't know how many of you remember Jim Dyson, her brother, but I do. We worked together in Brooklyn. He worked with Sonny. It was Sonny, it was G2, it was all of us. So much that was being said today brought back so many memories of so much that went down. I heard Karima talk about, I spent my summers in Guyana, and I kind of had forgotten that. You know, and you know, it's just something that happens. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. All the love that has been shown me today and sent our way, my way and Herman's way, just means to me that Herman and I will be okay. That Herman and I will just go on, because we've gotten so much and so much from all of you. The brother George Edward Tate and Akosua, I don't have to say to Akosua what that song means to me. I think all of you could see how I was reacting to her singing. But the other thing about Akosua and that song, Akosua is just a beautiful person. She's just a beautiful woman. George is a beautiful person, as is so many of you. All of you, really. I see Brenda Stokely back there, who's just been sitting there. There's another, you don't know how many people we've worked with all these years, and have put so much of themselves into the struggle to free our political prisoners and to liberate our nation. And I think that's all that we felt, Herman and I, today. You get all this energy and you get all this love, but you also get all of this commitment. And you pray that this commitment goes on and begins to bear fruit. It has to. I jumped up, my granddaughter gets mad at me because I jump up and move about without telling her that I'm doing that. But when Lynn Stewart came in, I said, I gotta go to her. She can't come to me. The lady is ill, and she has took her time to come here to be with you, all of us, to be with you and to be a part of this tribute. You have no idea what this means to me. You have no idea. It has been a beautiful, beautiful time. And Decree, well, that's my third daughter. I got two daughters. Maybe Decree wants to be the granddaughter, but she's really my third daughter, right? and it's just something. So I want to say thank you again to all of you, and I'm going to assure you, all of you, that when I get to the Bahamas, I'm going to lay down there and I'm going to remember why I'm here and how I got here. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, thank you, Iyaluua, for your words and your work. So, before we do the raffle drawing, this is my other love, my granddaughter Alani, right? Yeah, so we're going to do the raffles. This is also working, so we have like petitions there for rap work that we're doing about releasing Asian prisoners. We told you about the National Day for Asada. There's the February 22nd at Mega Everest, the honoring of the African spirit.
589-440.